Okay, so I'm back again with my closing thoughts on first impressions. Actually, my plan was to play a little bit and then record this video after my first one. I made two mistakes there, two assumptions that proved inaccurate. The first is that I actually spent several hours editing my first video. I thought I could trim it down a bit and edit a few parts out. Still kind of a learning curve for me as far as editing videos go, but that took a couple hours, but I trimmed it down because it was like 5 gigs and that was already too big, and it took a while to upload. And the second assumption is that I would only play this for a little bit more. Turns out I spent most of this morning and a bit of this afternoon playing more, and I'm still just scratched the surface of this DLC. As you guys probably see, I put up when I'm about an hour. I ended up cutting some content there, and an hour is just nothing. Barely scratches the surface, and I'm still barely scratching the surface of this DLC. This armor, by the way, is not part of the DLC. This is an armor mod on Nexus called the Rebel by Lord of War, and I'm wearing the road goggles with it. Transparency mod. I will put down in the link that particular outfit because I think it's a pretty cool outfit. I haven't found a whole lot of armor pieces that I want to wear yet. I did buy a Marine helmet, which, according to the developers, the Marine armor is supposed to be better than combat armor, but not as powerful. It's in between combat armor and power armor. And the Marine helmet I did pick up is actually more powerful than if you put polymer armor, which is the highest level armor mod you can put on a helmet, on a combat helmet. It's actually slightly more damage resistant than that. It was probably one of the first helmets, though. I'm sure there's more. Sadly, I couldn't upgrade that helmet. I don't know if I can upgrade any armor that comes in. There is some slick-looking armor. There was like a recon wetsuit I'm hoping to get, and I'm wondering what the stats are for that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to wear this modded armor because it's some of my favorite armor in the game. The rifle I am carrying, that is from the DLC. That's the lever action rifle. And I'm going to be trying that out here pretty soon when I get back to playing. But my overall impressions of the DLC, yeah, so far I like it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is Far Harbor 2.0. Well, not exactly, at least not in the starting area. I think people, there's some wetlands, but it's mostly forest terrain. And I'll be honest, something I wanted to talk about, I was not a huge fan of Point Lookout. I know a lot of people loved Point Lookout, thought it was the best DLC for Fallout 3, but I didn't really, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really my favorite either. I think I liked Broken Steel, and I actually liked things like The Pit a little better, and I think the reason for that is, well, I already live out in a wetland area. I live on the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State, so I live out in wetlands. I experienced the thrill of getting live mosquitoes and leeches in real life if I so choose. And if I want to get chased by idiots with shotguns, well, all I got to do is wander on somebody's property who probably doesn't understand how trespassing laws work. Little PSA, this is kind of off topic, but most states do not allow you to shoot somebody simply because they trespass on your territory. That's a misconception. Even in the state of Texas doesn't allow you to do that. They only allow you to do that in situations of self-defense or you're witnessing a violent crime. and you're trying to protect somebody else. It does not allow you to just shoot someone simply because they wander onto your property. There has to be a reasonable concern of bodily, of serious injury, the possibility of serious injury or whatnot, or clear and present danger. Some states allow you to also defend property, but those states are... There's only a few states that I think allow that, and it's in very few cases. I think like the state of Texas might allow you to defend, if you're a farmer, they might allow you to defend your livelihoods, such as your livestock. Not sure on that because I don't live on Texas, but I do believe, from what I read, even open gun and carry Texas isn't going to allow you to just shoot somebody on your property. So please, before you make that mistake and end up committing a felony crime, check your state laws about things like trespassing. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so Far Harbor didn't particularly impress me. It had some good guns and it had its moments. I just wasn't enthusiastic, but I am enthusiastic about this, which is oddly enough, even though this is on the east coast of Maine, is a little more like what I've got here on the west coast with evergreen type trees and whatnot. Of course, it's a nuclear fallout, so they're not nearly that green anymore. I was a little concerned that when they talked about the radiation and they said some stuff about the trailer, how they loved the glowing sea, I was a little concerned there was going to be this constant radiation effect when I step out in the fog, but that hasn't really been the case. It's been kind of like sporadic occasions where your Geiger counter spiking, you take radiation damage. It isn't ongoing, and it isn't really heavy, at least not so far as where I'm at. So you don't have to wander around in power armor or just constantly be sucking down Rad-X. But that's the good news. The bad news is you probably will be taking occasional radiation damage from the fog. So you'll probably want to come out here with Rad-X, with radiation Radaway, like the locals tell you. But so far, yeah, I've been enjoying this. I've only scratched the surface. This is a huge landmass, and I've only been through maybe a quarter, if that. I've seen there's actually a new vault that seems to be underneath a hotel that was under construction before the bombs hit. I've explored the hotel, but I haven't explored the vault yet because I'm still doing some these side quests for people. But I'm looking for, there's some kind of drive-in that's giving out a radio signal. Let me check that out. And of course I may head back to the main quest eventually once I start doing some of these other side quests. But so far, I'm enjoying myself. I think this is definitely a welcome addition. New guns, new armor, new weapons, and just more Fallout 4. And yes, there are new legendary prefixes. I've seen a couple of them now that I haven't seen before, and I don't think they were on the list of possible prefixes in the vanilla game. So they've added a whole new list of prefixes. They've added new magazines. So I'm guessing there's going to be quite a bit of content for some time to keep me busy and other Fallout players busy. So is it worth the $25 purchase? Well, I haven't quite finished it, but from where I'm seeing, I'm getting my money's worth. Now, my attitudes may change, and I may even post another video of my overall impressions once I finish this DLC, but that's going to be a whiles down the road, and I'm going to take my sweet time through this. As I usually like to take my sweet time through things. So, I'm not going to burn through it and try to post a review. This is just, again, my first impressions, and so far my first impressions have been positive ones. This seems to be a very lengthy DLC. I'm going to be getting into it, although I'll be probably playing some other games as well. But okay, first impressions, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I can't wait to see some more, and I'm going to probably go back to playing some more of this. So, stay happy, everybody, and I hope that you might check this out and enjoy it, and thanks for watching my videos. Alright, see you all later.